So you'd like to become an actor, but you have no experience and no idea where to begin? Well, by the end of this video, I will share the first 5 steps an actor with no experience can take to begin their acting journey. Hey there, fellow dreamer. I'm Mark St. Cyr. I've acted in Oscar-nominated films with Chadwick Boseman. I've been a series regular in Emmy-nominated TV show High School Musical, the musical, the series. Wow, that's a mouthful. And I've even been on posters and billboards for major Hollywood projects like The Menu. But when I started acting, I was doing high school theater, desperate to go from aspiring actor with a lot of passion and no money to a professional actor with a lot of passion and some money. So I am going to share the 5 action steps that you can take. But before I share those, it's important to ask yourself this question, 2 questions actually, and if you're feeling bold, you can answer them in the comments below. Why do you want to be an actor? That's question 1. And 2, what are your acting goals? One of my acting goals when I was younger was to connect with Chadwick Boseman. I wrote letters to his agency to set up a meeting with him because we'd both been in the ABC showcase and I thought he might be a good mentor to me. And while I didn't end up meeting him that way, later on I got to work with him and it was even better than I'd hoped it would be. And being able to celebrate that goal coming true was really career affirming for me and allowed me to continue on when things were hard. So the reason you want to answer these 2 questions for yourself is that A, it will allow you to know when you've succeeded, and B, it will change the career choices you make. For example, if you desperately want to be on the next big comedy hit show, you're going to take different acting classes than someone who wants to be in the next Game of Thrones or someone who wants to be a Broadway star. So keep your goals in mind as I share the following steps. Step 1, acting classes. Now, depending on your goal, I'd recommend different classes. So take improv or sketch comedy class if you want to have your own sketch show like a Key and Peele, or if you dream of being on SNL, right? If you want to be a Broadway actor, then you want to take musical theater class, singing and dancing. If you're focused on TV and film, you're going to want to take on-camera classes and self-tape classes. And if you're interested in being an action star or a stunt performer, you need to take stage combat or stunt classes. Depending on your goals, you may also want to take accent and dialect class. Now, these are some classes that I would recommend almost every actor take. Acting technique, speech and vocal technique, and movement classes. These are going to get you in tune with the instrument of your body and your voice. Most everyone is also going to need a script analysis class and an audition class, since that's the way we actually book work. Now, I'm going to recommend a few acting teachers that I've worked with in each of the 3 major markets of America, LA, New York City, and Atlanta. If you're getting value from this video, consider giving it a like so other dreamers and actors can find it. Now, the teachers I would recommend, many of whom have Zoom offerings, right? So you can take class with them from anywhere in the world. In Atlanta, I quite liked Mornell Studios. I think Sarah Mornell is a great teacher for auditions, script analysis, and on-camera technique. In New York, I think Anthony Abison is a wonderful choice for a beginner. He's a great mix of script analysis, imagination work, and acting technique. Eric Reese is the teacher that I worked with in New York City the year that I became a series regular, and he's excellent at on-camera technique and camera work. Also, there's another group called the Barrow Group, and every actor I've seen come out of the Barrow Group has been sensational. In Los Angeles, I think Anthony Mindel's Actor Workshop is a good place for beginners to learn how to follow their impulses, to learn listening, and to be free. After you have that, I would recommend either Leslie Kahn or Margie Haber for script analysis and acting technique, depending on what it is you're feeling more drawn to. And lastly, I really loved my scene study workshop class with Larry Moss. He's Leonardo DiCaprio's acting coach. And you can see my review of his class on my channel. I found it truly inspirational and very uplifting as an artist. Not sure where he's teaching now, but I also know he's doing a lot of Zooms. The reason you want to be in acting class, really it's threefold. A, you get better at the craft so that your acting is competitive enough to book in a professional marketplace. B, you're going to build a community and a network, and this community will keep you in the loop about opportunities in your area. For example, I've had teachers such as Leslie Kahn help me get a major series regular audition. Every year also I have actors that reach out to me and offer me short films because they loved my work that they saw in class, and that's created many opportunities and relationships and community. And C, once you start having success, you're gonna not have a lot of time to be in acting class, and you want your technique to be at such a high level that you can manage the demand for your talent. Now, obviously that's a problem we'd all love to have, but I have seen it happen where people have gotten a taste of success. Maybe they've become a series regular, but they did not have the skills to uphold it and they've kind of missed out on their chance. So you really want to build up those skills before you get your first taste of success. Step 2, get professional actor headshots. I have a video somewhere in here where I interviewed headshot photographer Emily Lambert. Last I checked, she's in Atlanta, but I think she might be moving to LA. I loved working with her. I think she's wonderful. Also, if you're in Los Angeles, I offer headshots through my photography service, saintstreetphoto.com. You can go to the website, and if you like my work, you can reach out to me there through the contact page. I'd be happy to work with you as well. In terms of what you want with headshots, you want the image to look like you on a good day. You don't need professional hair and makeup, though if that gives you confidence and you like that, you can do it, and a lot of photographers want you to have it. But you don't want to go overboard to the point where it no longer looks like you. Also, you want to be able to recreate that look somewhat whenever you get auditions, because people are calling you in based off that picture, and if you don't look anything like that picture, it's going to be disconcerting for them when they call you in, and you're not going to be able to match up for that essence that they are asking for. The other thing you want to know is the type you are and the essence you are, and really try to create photos that target that type so that other people can bring you in for that. I have a video coming on type, and if you're really excited for that, just leave me in the comments, help me with my type, and I'll prioritize that video next. Step 3, learn the art of the self-tape. 100% of my theatrical auditions over the last 3 years have been self-tape. And theatrical is just a term for any acting job that is not a commercial. So theatrical would be for a drama or comedy TV series, whereas a commercial audition are those 30-second athletic clothing jobs that I've done. 50% of my commercial auditions have been through self-tape. And a self-tape just means that it's an audition where you're taping yourself. They used to be rare because most auditions were in person and you'd go into a casting office and the casting team would read with you and give you notes and put you on tape. Those days are over. So now you've got to embrace and learn how to tape yourself. And the basic thing that I'll share here is that you generally want one key light, which is what I have here. And you put a softbox on it or something to diffuse the light, to soften the light. I use a softbox. I'll show you what that looks like here. But you can also use a window, which can be wonderful, and I like to have these white kind of diffused curtains whenever I'm using window light. The thing about window light is that it changes. Right now there's no light coming out of it, so then you become reliant on shooting tapes during the day, which can be a little tricky. And the other option you can have is you can have a light behind you, kind of like this, to kind of get you to pop off the background. Okay, but in terms of lighting, just make sure they can clearly see you. But if you want to know the lights that I'm using for my self-tapes, I will share a link to pretty much my whole self-tape kit in the description below. You can totally use your phone to get started. I booked a major series regular off the iPhone X back in 2018, I think it was, and I booked the menu, the feature film, on my phone as well. Cameras become, in my opinion, more helpful when you're trying to self-tape for commercials. In my experience, theatrical auditions tend to be more lax in terms of what it looks like. They're just focusing on your performance. It should still look good, but they're mostly focused on performance. Commercials often want it to be able to just take what you shot and imagine putting it on TV right then and there. Step 4, self-submissions. So you've taken acting classes, you've got your headshots, you've learned how to self-tape, you are officially ready to start self-submitting yourself for auditions. The major sites are actorsaccess.com, castingnetworks.com, and backstage.com. You'll create a profile, upload headshots, and start submitting for roles. Castingnetworks.com, in my experience, is primarily for commercials. The other two do a bit of both. On Actors Access, they will ask you for something called a slate shot. You don't need this, but I recommend you make one. A slate shot would basically be, imagine I have taken a headshot in this outfit, and you've taken a great picture of me, and then I'm going to do a slate shot, which is basically me doing this. Hey, I'm Mark St. Cyr. Just so people can feel my energy, what I look like, what my voice sounds like. If you have a slate shot, your submissions will go higher in the queue than people that only have headshots. And so it's a great way to help yourself get your submission seen. You might also consider slating in the energy of whatever type you're putting yourself out for. So this is a pretty relaxed look, but let's say I was in a more edgy look, maybe a leather jacket. I'm not gonna go overboard. You still wanna feel approachable, but if I'm like leather jacket, kind of edgy or something, I might go something like, hey, I'm Mark St. Cyr. Just slightly. So consider doing something like that for your slate shot, just to help get your submissions seen. Step 5, obtain representation. Now, you'll be able to find auditions for yourself on the sites I mentioned, but the major auditions, they are gate-kept behind licensed agents and managers. You're gonna want to partner with an agent or manager to get seen for bigger and better opportunities. So a couple of quick tips that I'm gonna share in terms of getting representation. First of all, you got to have your acting materials ready. Your headshots, ideally footage from roles you've booked through all the self-submissions or the community, other actors putting in projects, or maybe even projects that you self-produced. You know, when I was getting started, I produced my own web series that allowed me to create some really great footage. But that is what you're going to need in order to entice them to see where you're at. The other thing you can do is have a referral. If you have a friend that has an agent or a parent that has an agent or an acting teacher that has connections with agents, referrals can be very powerful ways to get people to open your emails. Step 2 is to keep it casual. Just when you're writing or addressing these agents through emails, don't say, "Dear Sir or Madam," or "Hi, Mr. Whatsoever." Just say, "Hey, Chris." "Hi, Mark." That's how you want to address it. The entertainment industry is very informal, and this was hard for me when I was growing up in Louisiana. Everything was "Yes, sir," "Yes, ma'am." Yes, Mr. This, yes, Mrs. That. That will make you look green in the entertainment industry. So you just want to address, "Hey, so-and-so, hey, so-and-so, hi." Whatever feels authentic to you. And the last quick tip I have is that you can find emails for representation on a website called IMDb Pro. It's just the professional paid version of IMDb. I have a video called IMDb Pro Secrets that's already on the channel and live, where I share how you can get the most out of IMDb Pro. The last piece of advice I'll share with you is that acting can be a very rewarding and very challenging career pursuit. And you undoubtedly are going to have times where you want to quit. And in those times, it becomes incredibly important to remember why you started and why you chose to become an actor, so that you can look at that reason and decide, do I still care about that reason? Is that still important to me? Because pursuing acting can be a beautiful thing, and leaving acting can be a beautiful thing. And whenever I was lost and unsure about what I was going to do next, I was so grateful to rediscover the reason why I started. And I was watching this movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I know is not everyone's favorite Marvel movie, but this movie really hit me because it hit a theme around what's possible in another world where things just line up right for somebody. And would you make the same choices even if you weren't given the best hand, right? And because Benedict Cumberbatch and the villain who's playing Scarlet Witch, Ms. Olsen, and Rachel McAdams are so excellent in that movie, my brain is actually able to turn off and relax and enjoy the story, and it opened up my heart. And I was sobbing on this airplane between two two men, just me in the middle seat, just crying, sobbing, watching this Marvel movie, because of the excellence of the acting. And if the acting had been mediocre, I just would not have been able to feel and have this realization that honestly has changed my life. And you never know what movie it is that you do that has the opportunity to change people's lives or to impact them in that way. So I take it as a blessing and a privilege to be able to do this. And I know that the work that we do can change people's lives. And that is why I continue to do it when it gets hard. So please share with me why you want to be an actor and what your goals are. I've got more videos coming to support your acting dreams, so if you'd like to be aware of when those drop, just hit the notification bell and consider subscribing. And yeah, that is a wrap on how to become an actor with no experience. And cut! How did I do? Was that pretty good? Not bad. Yeah, I think that went well. Not bad at all. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we made a difference today. Yeah.